Is it possible to encourage someone without giving something up? Well, let's talk about that. Hey everybody, I'm Scott Vermillion. Thanks for tuning in. We are talking about the ties that bind, looking at ways we can find unity in the face of division. And today we're going to look at chapter 2 in Philippians, verses 25 through 30. Here we see Paul doing something that I think most of us wouldn't do. And I know for me, it would be very hard to do. Paul takes someone who's an encouragement to him and gives him away. In the first part of this chapter 2 that we looked at, we saw that Paul is going to send Timothy, one of his faithful stewards. The second thing we see is Paul sends Epaphroditus. Epaphroditus was a gift from the Philippian church. He was sent to them, sent to Paul to look after his needs while he was in house arrest in Rome. But he became sick, almost to the point of dying, and so Paul nursed him back to health, and the Philippians got really concerned about Epaphroditus, who was a fellow co-worker and a guy that was most likely one of the pastors or the pastor of the Philippian church. And so Paul was worried that they were worried about him, and so he decides, I'm going to send this guy back to you. Now, this is an incredible sacrifice for him, because I think that if we're going to encourage people, we have to take stock of how Paul did it. And Paul took the one person that was sent to him to be an encouragement and gave him back to the Philippian church so that he could be encouraged by their faith of receiving him again, knowing that he was going to be okay. I think that when I look at this, I see Paul looks out for the interests of others. He looks to encourage these guys by sacrificing for them. And I know that if we're going to apply this to our lives, that I think encouraging others is a sacrifice. I don't think we can just drop encouragement on people without having it cost us something. Because otherwise what it ends up being is just platitudes. It's Hallmark cards. They cost nothing to just give those kind of things. Oh, it'll be all right. Oh, you'll get a better job. Oh, that relation didn't work out. You didn't want it anyway. I mean, no. I mean, these are painful experiences that we go through. But we need to take stock before we enter the world to say, if we're going to build unity through encouragement, then it's going to cost us something. And I think in this day and age, that if we are going to take seriously being an encourager to others, then it's going to cost us our time. Time, I know, is the most precious thing that we have. We're all busy. We all have things going on. But if we're going to encourage someone, then it's going to cost us our time. We're going to have to stop our agenda, and we're going to have to pick up someone else's agenda if we're truly going to encourage them. And that requires a sacrifice, because most of us live our lives without any margin. We just push it all the way to the edge of the paper, and we're so busy. If one thing doesn't come to fruition in our experience during the day, then it blows our whole day. It sets us all the way back, and we're not going to be able to get our things done. And I think we've got to start reclaiming some of that time to offer it to others. I know for my kids, if they're going through a hard time, it always takes 4 times longer to walk through that issue with them than I think. Because for me, it's a simple issue, and we should just do this and everything will be all right. They can stop crying. But that's not the reality. This is their first rodeo in life. And for most people, when we go through hard times, it's one of the first times we've gone through this type of hard time. And so we need to sort it out, and sorting that out takes an incredible amount of time. And if we were generous to offer and sacrifice that time with others, to let them think through it and go through all of the possibilities, we would be tremendous encouragers of others. But it would cost us something. It would cost us the time that we would spend on our own agenda. And so here's the challenge. If we're going to build unity through encouraging others, are you willing to sacrifice your time in order to do it? And so that's a tough question, and I want to give it to you guys to talk to your spouse, talk to your family about what it means to encourage others. Because I would love to just do drive-by encouragement and everybody would get the fuel they need to live their life to the full. But the reality that I found is that there's no quick fix to certain problems. And if all we do is treat people with quick fixes, they're not going to really appreciate that, because they think, and I think rightly so, that their issues are really important. And so let's be people who encourage others by sacrificing our time so that we can listen and hear what's going on and provide a word or two whenever necessary. Let me know how it goes if you decide to try sacrificing some of your time to encourage others this week. Put it in the comments below and subscribe to this channel. We'd love to keep up with you. So let us know if these are encouraging or if there's other things that are going on that we can be paying attention to. Thanks, guys, for tuning in, and we'll see you soon.